So Ann Steele, who looks after the archives, the historical archives here at the church, is here to share her witness today.
As she said, I am chair of Records and History, and it is a Holston Conference church-wide office that we have here in the church, and we have a room upstairs dedicated to archives, and one of these days it's going to be open for visitation. In this season of gratitude, I am personally so grateful for State Street United Methodist Church. Many years ago, this church family took my husband and me into their embrace and never let go. The church continued to nurture us through the children's and adults programs. Most importantly, has nurtured me through many happy occasions, such as my children's baptisms and weddings. And also, I'm grateful for the indescribable support when times were sad. The reason I'm here is to also express extreme gratitude for all those saints in our past who had the fortitude to save pictures, newspaper clippings, and pieces of paper. I wish they'd been a little bit more organized and marked things. We have much rich history to be proud of. One of the wonderful things that I am so grateful for and have admired every Sunday is this beautiful stained glass window. And I wanted to give a little history on it and talk about it, and I'll probably give you more facts than you ever wanted to know. My young artistic son, we always sat in the balcony, and one morning he was looking at the stained glass window, and he said, "Mom, look at Jesus' fingers that the artist has made." And I'll never forget that. Thank you to our forefathers and our foremothers who had the foresight to commission the making of this beautiful window when this building was built in 1955. First of all, let me give you a little history of stained glass. Stained glass is created by mixing sand and ash or lime, the typical formula for glass, with metal oxides and heating everything to a very high temperature. This is an ancient procedure. Adding cobalt makes blue, as we see in the window. Adding manganese makes red and purple. And I believe the last new choir robes were chosen to be purple to match Christ's robes. To create a stained glass window, the designer would first sketch an initial design and the actual size of the window. And after the glass blowers have created the sheets of glass in the desired colors, the artisans cut the glass into the desired shapes for the design. This window was commissioned and ordered March the 5th, 1955. I have the letters, I have everything down to screws and bolts upstairs. It's a palladial window with the arched top. It was designed by the George Payne Studios and was made and assembled in England and shipped to us. The center section is the full-length figure of Christ, and the two side sections have 8 symbols representing 8 of the Beatitudes found in the Sermon on the Mount. This window, as well as the altar window in the chapel, were made possible through the contributions of members and friends of the congregation and in memory of loved ones who have been called to the church triumphant. The large windows in the nave sanctuary on the sides are varicolored pastel shades of colonial antique glass, and they were made here in Bristol at Central Glass. In the center, of course, we talked about the beautiful depiction of Christ. And the Beatitudes are found in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, verses 3 through 12, and in Luke's Gospel, chapter 6, verses 20 through 22, and they're also mentioned in the Psalms. They are a set of teachings delivered by Jesus Christ during the Sermon on the Mount. Beatitude is derived from the Latin word beatus, meaning blessed or happy. Although the basic messages are relatively simple, the Beatitudes describe the way God's kingdom works and what it means to be one of his followers. As Josh points to the Beatitudes, and also there are vines and grapes running through the side panels, and that goes with ye are the, I am the vine, ye are the branch. Okay, so the first one on the right, upper right, starting is illustrated by the hands and the cross. Blessed are the poor in spirit, hands indicating humility. As we move down to the next one, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted, illustrated by the initial letters of Christ, through whom we seek comfort. The circle means everlasting, and the PX stands for Christ. Moving on down, blessed are the peacemakers, illustrated by the dove of peace and the olive branch, world peace. And at the bottom, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, illustrated by the crown and the palm of victory. And I'll let Josh settle over to the other side. Starting at the top, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Illustrated by the earth, the missionary field. The next one down is, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst, illustrated by the cup and the wafer. And then we have, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy, illustrated by the blunt sword and the cross. Defend the faith. And at the bottom, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, illustrated by the lilies and the triangle of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And I meant to ask the choir to turn around. You've missed all of that, but you have it memorized. So.